Time passes regardless of the choices you make. So why don't you choose the path that's going to give you the life that you want? Why don't you risk it all to find out who you could be, to discover what's on the other side? Why not have a crack and see? Because what if I told you that in 6 months or less, you could be well on the path to the life you've always dreamed of? What if it was 4 months or 3 months or 30 days? What if you actually knew that everything you ever wanted, from the body to success in business or life or relationships or all that kind of stuff, what if it was all on the table and you knew guaranteed that you'd get it? What would you do then? What would you risk to get it because it wasn't a risk? What kind of effort and commitment would you give to achieve that life? Would you give up everything that doesn't serve you? Would you give up all the niceties and dopamine wasting time things? What would you give up and sacrifice if it meant you could have it all? Like, this is a legit question. How much of a certainty would you require to give that a go? How much of a certainty do you need to be like, okay, I'm all in? Because for most people, it's a higher certainty than can ever be given. And yet, the time passes regardless. Whether you put yourself out there and you see what you're capable of, or you just sit back and you sedate and you let life pass you by. The time's going to come and it's going to pass regardless of the choices you make. So you might as well put yourself out there. You might as well risk it to see who you can be. And especially if the only risk, the only thing that you are truly risking is time and effort, why not see what that could be? Why not see who you could be on the other side of just committing to it? And this is the one I come back to a lot. If you invested, the next 4 months, 126 days, which is what I believe is what's required to replace negative habits with positive habits. You invest 126 days and you cut off the things that don't serve you, the things that don't matter for you. Who could you be on the other side of that? So you go all in. Let's just say you do. And you get to the end of the 126 days and you go, you know what? It wasn't worth it. The effort wasn't worth it. Cool. Go back to where you were. Just revert back to who you were. You haven't really lost that much. But you can honestly say that you tried. You can honestly say that you gave it your all, that you went all in. But on the spectrum of life, 126 days, about 4 months, it really isn't that much time. And this is the thing that I think about a lot. It's one of these things that I come back to a lot, that people are so concerned about where they currently are, and often deeply, deeply unhappy with that they won't even risk effort to see what would come out the other side. If you dedicated that time, I can nearly guarantee that your life would change. Pretty much guarantee it. If you actually went all in, with no exception, all in, for 126 days, your whole life would change for the better. But even if it didn't, even if you were like, it wasn't worth the effort that I had to put into it, what have you truly lost in the grand scheme of things? But now you know. Now you've put yourself out there. Now you've had a crack at it and you're aware of the choices that you've made. And I think that's worth so much more. I think that's worth the risk. The problem is most people won't even put themselves out there. Because I legitimately believe that, you could, in 6 months, you could be so far down the track towards the life that you've always wanted. But it takes just giving up the comfortability. It takes giving up the niceties. It takes giving up those sedation things that we understandably seek and crave because they're easy. It's easy, and that's the problem, that it's too easy. But all you get from taking the easy option is in that moment, in that one singular, tiny moment in the grand scheme of life, it was easy, it was comfortable. Versus going, well, I'll choose a little bit harder. I'll choose a little bit more uncomfortable. I'll choose something that pushes me and challenges me to see who I can become on the other side. Because I mean it, Who could you be in 6 months if you went all in? Do you even know? Have you ever given yourself the challenge or potentially the opportunity to discover who you could be if you gave it your all? I said the other day, my only true regret in life is when I didn't give it my all. And something that truly meant everything to me, and I didn't leave it all out there. And I think so much of our life, when we get to the end of it, and look, I truly can't know until I get there. Like, let's be real here. You can't truly know until you get there. But I don't know until I get there, but I firmly believe that the most of my regrets will be from not giving it my all, not leaving it all out there, not pushing enough. I'm not going to look back and go, oh man, I'm really disappointed that I didn't watch enough TV, that I didn't get to watch all of those TV shows, that I didn't get to see all the memes and all the reels and all that I didn't get to, eat all the crappy pizza and ice cream and drink all the alcohol. Like, those aren't the things that I'm going to regret. I'm going to regret the time I didn't spend with my family. I'm going to regret the time that I wasn't present and in the moment. I'm going to regret that I didn't see what my potential could lead me to. Those are the things I'm going to regret. So I'd rather put it all out there. I'd rather consistently push to see who I can be. I think that's where you should be too. Because as I said, if it was guaranteed, if it was, a no-brainer, that if you gave 126 days, 6 months, 12 months, even a couple of years of your life, and you sacrificed all the things that did not progress you forward, that did not create growth, that did not push you towards your goal. You sacrificed those things and you went all fucking in. But you were guaranteed to get whatever the outcome is. Incredible physique, health, happiness, money, whatever that great definition of success is for you. If you were guaranteed to do it, would you even question it? Would it even be a thought process? Would you be umming and ahhing about whether it's worth it? Well, what if we flipped it? What if where you're currently at is it? What if this is it for life? If this is your whole life now, And that's it. That's all you're ever getting. What you've got right now is it. This is the pinnacle of your life. Are you happy? Is it worth it? Are you going to look back on your life and go, yeah, that was enough. I did enough. Because to be honest, if you can answer that honestly and truthfully and say yes, then fucking congrats. Like, that's huge. And that's amazing. So keep living your life the way it is. If the answer is no, then we need to start asking the question of, well, what the fuck are you going to do about it? What are you going to do to change? Because your thoughts, your habits, and your actions are what directly controls your reality. So if you aren't happy with your reality, change your reality. Change your thoughts, your habits, and your actions. Change what you're doing. As I said, if you decide at the end of it all, you've given all this effort for 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, and you decide that you aren't happy where you ended up, you can just revert back. Like, if you decide that the effort wasn't worth it, cool. Just revert back. But I think what you'll find is that on the other side of it is so much of what you've always wanted, so much of what you've been chasing, so much of this incredible life that you have been pursuing is on the other side of that. This is one I loved. I love the quote, but it's the magic is on the other side of the work that you aren't doing. The magic of your life is on the other side of the work that you aren't doing. And it doesn't make the saying as eloquent, but I usually find it's true. It's on the other side of the work you're avoiding. On the stuff that you know would change your life for the better. That you know would be absolutely phenomenal for you, and you're just avoiding it. The work is on the other side of that. Because even if we were just to make it into its most simple format, yeah, your health and fitness, your body, how you feel, all that kind of stuff. Within reason, we all know that we should eat better foods. We should eat whole foods. We should focus on those things. We shouldn't eat processed food. We know that we should exercise pretty much every day in some format or another, whether that be walking, whether that be weights, whether that be in aerobic capacity, whether it be something along those lines. We know we should be doing that. We know we should drink water over other options, especially options with sugar in it. We know we should limit all processed and junk food. We know that we really shouldn't drink. We know that we should focus on sleep and all this kind of stuff. We know these things, and yet the majority of the people don't do that. It's the one I come back to frequently because it still boggles my mind. That you are statistically more likely to be a millionaire than you are to have a six-pack. That says everything you need to know about our current society. That says everything you need to know about where we are in the world. That you are more likely to be a millionaire than to have a six-pack. That's a sad, sad statement on the world we live in. And especially when there is so much information and knowledge and opportunities for growth out there. There is so much out there to be able to do it. Hell, I'll give it to you right now. If you wanted my version of it, get a weight vest or something like that at least 10% or more of your body weight and go for a 45-minute walk every single day. Do a weighted workout. If you're not sure where to start, you can message me and I'll give you a 2-year program. But if you want to just do it for free, there is 1,001 things on YouTube. You can ask ChatGPT, all those kind of stuff. They're not perfect, but if you just want free and to get started, there you go. If you want an animal-based diet, eat meat and fruit. That's it. Drink 4 liters of water a day and take a daily photo to hold yourself accountable. There you go. I've just given you the keys to getting yourself into great shape. Do that shit every fucking day and your life will change. It's that simple. That fucking simple. But the problem isn't knowledge. The problem isn't it being out there and what to do. The problem is action and accountability and follow through. That's the gap. The gap isn't the knowledge on what to do. The gap is actually doing what is required. That's the difference. That's the separator. Because I got asked the other day and they're like, well, if we sign up for Greatness Daily, what exactly are we getting? Yeah, you're going to get everything designed specifically for you. I'm going to give you the exact workouts. I'm going to tweak and give you stuff. I'm going to give you my 14-day meltdown, which is one of the most effective ways to drop body fat really fucking quickly. But more than anything, the biggest factor, and to be honest, I've been doing this for 15 odd years, but the biggest factor that you're going to get that's going to change your life is the accountability. And I'm going to hold you to the fucking standard. That we're going to set those standards at the beginning, and I'm going to make sure you follow through. I'm going to be on your ass every single day, and I'm going to make sure it gets done. That is the majority of what I get paid for, whether it's online or if it's in my gym. That's what I get paid for. Because as I said, the knowledge is out there. The knowledge is there if you want to do it. The ability to change your life in the next 6 months is all there. But most people don't have the mental fortitude yet, the discipline, the focus, the drive yet to do it. So you get into my program and we're going to build that. That's the whole fucking point of the program. Yeah, the physique and getting in great fucking shape is really, really nice. And I've been refining that process for, as I said, 15 years to make sure I can deliver incredible results on that. But more of what you're getting from this is the mental fortitude and discipline and focus to be able to actually follow through, to be able to actually do the work, to be held accountable, and then to learn the skills of what it takes to show up every single day to do the work. That's the gold, because let's be realistic. If you had already the fortitude and the discipline to do it, you would have already done it. As I said, you can change your entire life in the next 6 months. Everything you want out of life could be achieved in the next 6 months, and you could be well on your way to leading the life of your dreams. If you were willing to just go all in and cut off all distractions, you made a decision, you burnt the boats, and now you're in. There's no other option. You can have it all. But most people have gotten so comfortable and so used to where they are in life that they don't have that capacity to make that decision. They don't have that discipline, that drive, that motivation to actually do it. That's why people like me get paid. To hold you accountable, to hold you to the standard, to build that discipline to do it, to make sure that it gets done. Because, your whole life is able to be changed really, really rapidly if you're willing to do that, if you're willing to make the commitment to getting it done. But you've got to make the commitment. You've got to make the decision. You've got to burn the boats and be all in. And most people don't have it in them to get up every single day and do it. They just don't. Like, I have this discussion frequently at my gym. And people are like, how do you do it to get up every single day and do it? And I was like, I just decided. There's no magic pill. There's no special thing. And they're like, it must be great to be motivated every single day. And I'm like, I'm not. There are many fucking days, today actually being one of them, that I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to bar working out. I didn't want to partake in it. I didn't really feel like it. And it was a fucking grind and a slog to get into it. Once I got started, it felt better. Once I got into it, it started to flow. But that initial phase was fucked. And that's part of because I changed my programming. I updated my programming last week, and I feel like shit at the moment. Like, my body hurts. And that's That's fine. It's all part of the process. And it means that I'm pushing the limits and I've upgraded the level of what I'm working through. And that's part of the game. But I don't wake up every single day motivated to do the work. What I do is I wake up every single day and I've previously made a decision. And so I'm keeping that. I'm keeping that word. I gave my word that this shit was getting done, therefore this shit's getting done. That's the separator. That's the difference. And I have to work on that discipline muscle, that discipline skill every single day. And some days it's strong, it's iron, it's rock fucking solid. And other days it's, limp noodle. But I continue to push forward and I work on that discipline muscle because that time is going to pass regardless. And as I said, my biggest regrets in life, and there's only a couple of them, and they come from not that I didn't achieve what I set out to do, but that I didn't give it everything I had. And I look back on probably the last 10 years, and I was doing okay. Like, life was pretty good. And, there are certain aspects of my life where my life is fucking amazing. My wife, my children, all that kind of stuff. But business, even a lot of my health and fitness has been okay. But I haven't left it all out there. I haven't given it everything I have. I haven't put aside all those trivial pursuits and trivial things that don't fucking matter to see who I could become if I gave it everything I had, if I went all in. And it doesn't have to be forever, but even just for a short period of time, if I gave it my all, who could I be? And that's the question. And I regret that I've wasted that time not pushing harder, not seeing what was on the other side. Because even if we just look at the physical capacity, I have achieved more in the last 300 odd days than I probably have in the last 10 years. I am now 33. I am a father of 2, and I am in better shape than I have basically been in my entire life. So it makes me question of how far I could have taken this if I had actually dedicated it and done it earlier. And it's not like I wasn't training. It's not like I wasn't working. And it's not like I wasn't doing stuff. But I wasn't leaving it all out there. I wasn't pushing it. I wasn't seeing what my potential is. So at each new phase of 126, I try to level that up. I try and cut off everything that doesn't serve me to see what my potential is. And each time I'm amazed at how much further I can take it. Each time I'm amazed at how many more things I still have that are holding me back. But that's the whole point. That the whole point is that you keep evolving. The whole point is that you keep pushing it forward. The whole point is that you keep seeing what's possible. And look, your idea of your potential and where you want to take this will ebb and flow and change as you progress in life. And that's fine. But you have to keep pushing it forward to see where you could end up. And that's what I'm doing. And that's what excites me. Because I don't want to look back and regret. Because that time is going to pass regardless. It is going to go by so fast, no matter what. So I might as well put myself out there. I might as well push myself to the limits. I might as well see what is possible for myself. And I think you should too. I think that is the purpose of life, is to keep reinventing yourself, to keep pushing forward, to keep seeing what you can achieve if you give it your all. So if you're ready to take that first step, if you're ready to see who you could be in the next 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 126 days, or whatever it might be for that time frame, let's get you into Chasing Greatness Daily. It starts with 6 weeks. Let's start that process. Let's see who you can be on the other side. If you're not quite there yet, click the link in my bio, grab my top 10 tools to transform your mental toughness. And lastly, if you enjoyed this, if it spoke to you, if this is something that you feel is worth listening to, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. But most importantly, subscribe. Help me out, help the algorithm out, help yourself out. by hitting that subscribe button, because I am here every single day, leading from the front, sharing from my examples, sharing from the examples of my life and the guys whose lives I am helping to transform. And I'll be back again tomorrow. Until then.